Welcome to another Volti Audio one-take video. How y'all doing? I thought I would start out this video out here in the shop, do the walkthrough first, and then I will play that that track for you. It's boy, what a what a great track for evaluating DACs or any audio component for that matter. It's really cool. I'll play it for you later. But first I thought I would just show you around what's going on here in the shop. There's a pair of Paduke rivals making their way through. And next up, I'm guessing, is probably this set, which is going to be Timaway rivals. A Timaway without the stripe. E-T-I-M-O-E. Timaway, I think. That's how I say it anyway. And what have we here? We have, this is Macore. So Michael, these are your Macore Luceras. Just getting going. Very nice, clean veneer. Really, well, very much like mahogany. I don't know if mahogany and Macore are the same species. It might be. They're very similar anyway. But I like Macore. It's got a little more, it's just got more grain. You know, it's not as straight. Although I don't know, that could just be the way they cut it, the way they turn the log and cut it. Who knows? It's a really nice veneer, though. All right, what's under here? This is the other Macore in the bag, and this is a Timaway without the stripe, and these will be going on Luceras, and these right here are Greg and Lori's kitchen parts, which we're pretty sure this year we're going to have a finished kitchen, finally. All right, what's out here? Crossover parts and rosewood Luceras. And these, I don't believe these are for a customer, which means they could be for you if you would like. They would be going into stock sometime soon. And you can see Jason has moved on from Raz, all those Raz cabinets that were here last week. They're all tucked away down in the barn, and he has moved on to Luceras. And if you want to meet Jason, come on down to the show in Tampa. He'll be there running the room with me, and come say hi, and come for a listen. We'll have Luceras this year at the Tampa show. Actually, all the shows this year, I think, we'll be doing that. So, all right, let's walk through. You ready? A little chilly out here today. Cloudy. Looks like a Tennessee winter day. All right. I'm going to turn this around again. What's going on in here? Dog houses. What is that? That looks like figured walnut to me. Rivals. I don't believe those are spoken for. If you want those, see, we're starting to get some going into stock now. This is also figured walnut, I think. Nah, I don't know. Jeez, I don't know what that is. Anyway, if those are both figured walnut, look at that, huh? For variation. Because those both have just clear finish on them. Beautiful, though. Both of those, just absolutely gorgeous veneers. We do get some nice woods to work with. Oh, yeah. Hey, check this out. So Jeremy's been working on the crossovers in these. These are going in the Cocobolo Vittoras. Let me sneak this in there so you can see that. Lots of horns getting painted and matched up. And I wanted to show you this. This is a pair of RAS that I took in on trade. If you're looking for a good deal on a pair of RAS, get a hold of me. I'm going to be cleaning these up, testing them, and putting them up for sale soon. But what's really interesting about this is that this is walnut. And I want you to notice the reddish tone that this wood has taken on. These are only a couple years old. Well, maybe 3 years old. And they're doing exactly what walnut veneer does, which is different or maybe more intense than most other woods in terms of changing color. When I first put walnut on, it is very gray, grayish in tone. And wow, these have got this beautiful rich tone to them now. Just gorgeous. They have good tone sound-wise too. You guys have seen these before. Sorry, I know I'm not aiming the camera well. All right. Let's see. What else are we doing? Yes. Al, here you go. We talked about this. I think you're coming here, well, after I get back from the show. And we will have these all loaded up and singing here next week and broken in for you. And looking forward to meeting you. And here we go. Good doggy shot. What are you, shy? Aw, yes, she's a little shy. What a good girl, though. What a good girl. Yeah. All right, let's see. Here, let's go through. You know, somebody asked me, oh, yeah, Happy Valentine's Day to you all. I made that for my wife, from Paducah Veneer. Yeah, somebody asked me about the origin of the name Volti Audio. And I don't know if I answered that last week. I thought maybe I did, but I'm not sure I did. Volti is took me a long time, first off, to figure out the name of the company. But Volti Audio is, Volti is an Italian, it's Italian, and it means different things, but in the context of music, it's a directive that you would see on the sheet music, in an orchestra, the violin section sheet music, and it would say something, I think it's Volti Subimo or something like that, or Volti. Anyway, it means turn the page quickly. But also, I think Volti that's VS. Volti can just mean to turn the page. Anyway, I liked the V in the name. I thought that was really cool. Volti is, it's easy to pronounce. It searches really well. My goodness, if you search Volti, you'll not find very much out there. So it's a good name that way. And but really, it was to turn the page. I thought that was so cool because that's how I feel about horn speaker design. Is that Volti Audio is turning the page on horn speaker design, and I certainly, I look back at horn speakers and how they've been designed and built over the years. I certainly respect my elders, including Mr. Klipsch, and so I'm hoping I can do my part. I'm doing the best I can to turn the page. Volti Audio. All right. gotta show you something first. All right, check this out. A long time ago, I don't know how long, 6 months, 8 months ago, a customer came by here to pick up speakers, and he had a pair of carry audio monoblocks in his car. And he said, I'm not doing anything with these for quite a while. They're just going to end up in storage. Would you like to try them? And I said, absolutely, please. Leave them here. I'll give them a shot. See how they sound. These are the 805 monoblocks. And you all probably seen these before. They've been around forever. And maybe Carry Audio's best known amp. They're huge. They're heavy. But what's cool about them is they've got an input tube. I don't know what it is, 6SN7, I think, something like that. They use a 300B as a driver tube into a 211. Some of them had 845 tubes, but these are 211s. So you're getting 40 watts or so probably. Single-ended 40 watts. So anyway, finally, after all this time, it takes me forever to do stuff, honestly. It's just awful. But finally, I got these things hooked up. Jeremy helped me with it yesterday. And they're not working very well. I really think they just need new tubes. Boy, a lot of noise, a lot of nervousness on our part as we turned these things on, and they were crackling and whooshing, and oh my goodness, it was not good. I did manage to check the bias. The bias was fine. I don't know. I just think the tubes are old, frankly. I think probably these were used, set aside in storage somewhere, and not used for a decade. And they probably ought to be gone through and put some new tubes in them. So I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but I thought I would show you because they're pretty interesting units. A little disappointed yesterday. I was hoping to really get to hear those. I was going to put some vinyl on and listen to these wonderful rivals that I have here. These are Muete. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Muete. These are your rivals. They are breaking in nicely. They sound really, really, really good. So they'll be heading your way soon. So anyway, I am using right now my trusty old SLI 80. But I did want to show you this real quick. This is my, as you know, my Weem Ultra. It's a Teddy Pardo Weem Ultra. That's the power supply on the right-hand side. $1,000. You should not spend any more money than that on a music server. You know my feelings on this. And that is the Mojo Audio Mystique X. And then this one is the Mojo Audio Mystique Z, which is, I don't know if it's the newest one anymore. I can't keep up with Ben. He's constantly coming out with new stuff. So he might even have he might already have a successor of that one. But GC's been asking me for 3 months to compare these two DACs, and I finally got to do it, Ben. I got a chance to sit down again with Jeremy's help, switching things around for me yesterday. We were playing all afternoon, and just really got a chance to hear the difference between these two. And yes, I do prefer the Z, the newer one, over the X. And I'll try to articulate to you what it is I was hearing with that. All right, let me go sit down here. I need my coffee. Get you set up here. Hope you all had a good week. I hope you all didn't forget about Valentine's Day. All right. Notes. Oh, yes. Tubes versus solid state. Somebody asked me about this, and it's always a good subject to talk about, isn't it? So the thinking is that tubes are for horns because they soften the harshness of the horns. That is just simply not true. That may have been true at one point, but it isn't true today. A good tube amplifier is every bit as clear and detailed um, as any amplifier ought to be. And it's not a tool to tame horns. Horns ought to not to be harsh and sharp either, edgy. Those days, if they haven't gone by, if you're sitting in front of horns that are edgy and harsh and need taming, it's time for a new set of horns because we just have so much as designers and builders. We have so much available to us now, both in information and materials and crossover components and drivers that nobody making horn speakers today should be making anything that's harsh or hard to listen to or in need of taming by something, by an amplifier that's soft. That's ridiculous. So why don't I bring solid state amps to the show? Because they don't sound as good as tubes. I like tube sounds. I've been over this before. In fact, I think maybe I might be. This might be 2 weeks in a row I've mentioned this. I'm sorry. I just think tubes give me this dimensionality of the music that I just don't get with solid state. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go to a show to try to prove that my speakers can sound good with solid state. Listen, you can play anything you want on my speakers. I suppose somewhere in the industry there's a speaker that works better with one type of amplifier than another. That's not Volti Audio. Volti Audio speakers work equally well with everything. You're going to hear the amp. Whatever the amp's putting out, whatever character it has, that's what you're going to hear. If you like the sound of a solid state amplifier, you'll love it on my speakers. Absolutely. Go for it. I'm not trying to talk you out of it. But I'm not going to bring a solid state amp to the show. I'm just not going to do it. Why would I do that? I don't want to sit there all weekend and listen to that. I like the sound of my tubes. And believe me, I do. I get it. I understand. Not wanting the heat, not wanting the pain in the ass factor of tubes going bad every once in a while. I get that. Biasing, all that. So I'm not. I'm much more tolerant of all that stuff than I am the friggin' computer shit I have to deal with every day. All right. Let's see. Do Volti speakers only sound good with tube amps? Yes. Volti speakers only sound good with tube amplifiers. All right, so I want to talk about what I heard when I compared the Mojo Audio Mystique X and the Mojo Audio Mystique Z DACs. DACs, first off, DACs do make a sound. They do sound different. If some of you are thinking, well, DACs don't really sound much different from one to another, that's not true. There very much are different characters of sound from different DACs. And I haven't experienced a lot of different ones, but I have experienced some what I call analytical DACs. MSB would be one of them. And EMM Labs, M Labs, there's another one of those names. Is it M Labs or EMM Labs? Geez, what's the name of our company going to be? Why don't we pick something that really is confusing? People won't know what to actually call it. Oh, what a great idea. M Labs. Actually, I really got a chance. I'm glad I got a chance to own one of those. It was a very high-end piece at the time. And I did a trade for it. I don't know what the heck I traded. I traded something. And Actually, at the time, I really enjoyed it. Just as I got into it, as I got into learning more about electronics and learning more about sound, frankly, about what is to me really really good sounding. Then I started hearing the analytical side of it, and then of course hearing another DAC that all of a sudden sounded more natural. I was, oh my goodness, this person's actually in front of me singing. When that started happening, um, yeah, then the MyTech DAC didn't, it just didn't do it anymore. The benchmark, nah. Uh, so so I've gravitated towards this particular sound. I would really say it all started with the Border Patrol DAC, the little Border Patrol SE DAC SE, which was such an experience, and still is, frankly. Um, just a It's funny because with if you read reviews on it, especially the one in Stereophile, um, the they call it, what they say, it was a DAC. If you like your DAC covered in fur, saying that somehow it is covering up, is changing the sound of the music, or covering it up, or giving you something that's not true or accurate. God, I think just the opposite. To me, it's yeah, just music sounded so much more real and um, almost plain in a way. I, I remember nowadays when I listen to my Border Patrol DAC, it sounds dry to me. I never thought it was dry, but that's because the Mojo audio DACs are so juicy, I think. These words that we use. Some of you are like, what does he mean by dry? What the hell does dry mean? What does juicy mean? I don't know, man. It's really hard. Don't you find it hard to articulate sound in words to tell somebody else? You try doing it sometime. Tell you what, turn on a camera sometime. You try explaining it to uh, uh, the sound of a DAC. Just do it, especially before you criticize me in the comments section. Dry, but dry in a good way. I mean, dry and just plain. Just there's nothing extra going on. It's just that's a piano. It's a piano. It's not a digital thing creating a piano. The sound of a piano. It's not. There's no other description. It just sounded like a piano. I thought, wow, that's. I know what a piano sounds like. That sounds like a piano. Of course, the recording's got to be good, especially on a piano. Hard to record a piano. Anyway, so I did make some notes. By the way, I came in. I just have not been motivated because the thing is, for me to evaluate, I have to clear my mind. Right, I got to be in a state where deep breath. All right, I am focusing on this. Now I'm going to listen to this. This is what I'm going to do, and I cannot be thinking about the 14 other things that are going on in the background. And I was able to do that yesterday. Jeremy, who works here one day a week, um, great worker, doing crossovers mostly. And But he came to me midday. He said, "Yeah, I'm finished up here. What do you want to go on to?" I said, "I don't know. What do you want to go on to?" He says, "Why don't we play with something?" I was like, "Oh, that sounds terrific." And I got just the thing because I have to do the evaluation on these DACs. So that's what we did. We just came in here and started setting stuff up. We went from the DACs to the carry audio monoblocks, and we set up some subs. Anyway, we had a good time yesterday afternoon. It was very helpful. I got a couple things off my list, and we sat down to listen to the DACs, and I picked, I picked female vocal, male vocal, acoustic guitar, horn, either horn. So I went to Chet Baker. Chet Baker just breathing through the trumpet. That kind of sound just was really cool. And we started listening, and I could hear differences right away. I'm not sure if Jeremy was hearing them. But also at the same time, I'm thinking, I don't know. There's not that much. Then Jeremy says, "Hey, how about this track?" And this is the track I'm going to play for you. And we put it on. And it's like, oh my goodness, it's so dynamic and so it has it's real instruments. These are horns, but at the same time, there's effects and there's layering and I think there might even be looping in here going on, and there's a sound effect thing that sounds like a really loud, like a sword being pulled out of a sheath, and you can actually see it. I can close my eyes. I can actually see it. It comes diagonally right from here, 4 o'clock, comes up diagonally to 1 o'clock, like that, and right out at me. This sound, and it's like, oh my goodness. And so, what a great track to evaluate these DACs with. I could really hear the difference then, and anyway, I'll just read you my notes because I won't really remember these. So I wrote down here, it's wonderfully difficult to describe why I like the X so much, the Mystique X, the one that I've had here for a year or so. And isn't that cool? Wonderfully difficult. And that is a great way to put it. Just it's wonderful, but it's wonderfully difficult to put it into words. And equally as difficult to describe why I like the Z even better. And just, one other thing I said, the X is juicy, the Z is juicier. How profound. And but I don't know, I would say when I went from X to Z, the Z things just jumped out more. Notes were more clearly delineated. Right, the very first notes of this track that I'm going to play for you is I think it's a synthesizer, but it sort of sounds like, what's that instrument? Xylophone maybe, or I don't know, xylophone. I don't know what the heck it is. Anyway, I think it's a synthesizer, but each note just pops so much clearer with the Z than it does the X. You would never think that. You would never think that of the X unless you heard the Z right after it. And I don't know. I think again, so the usual definition, separation, even dynamics were better with the Z. How much? How much of a difference? An audiophile difference, right? I mean, it's that kind of difference where we're not normal. We can hear this stuff. We've trained ourselves to hear this stuff. And normal people would be like, I don't know what the heck you're talking about. It sounds just like the same song to me. So, what else did I write down here? Oh, this is a good one. If an Ineos Nazare, which is not a DAC, I understand. The Nazare is a music server. If the Ineos Nazare is worth $50,000, the Mojo Audio Mystique Z is worth $1 million. What do I take from that? What I take from that is that spend your money on a better DAC, not on a better music server. Especially today, especially these days. 5 years ago, 10 years ago, hang on a sec. A while back, maybe. But nowadays, geez, the electronics are just, the digital stuff is so much better. People talk about, I don't know this, but blue, what is it? Blue something, blue node. I'm sorry, I don't know. But there's a lot of these different units out there. I think they're all very, very good now. What they're using for parts inside are probably the same damn parts you're finding in very expensive music servers. And it's just because the parts are being made cheaply overseas, and it's become the standard, I think. I would say that it is very important to have a good power supply with your music server. A lot of these cheap music servers come with switch mode power supplies, wall warts, right, that you plug in. Not nearly as good as a linear power supply. So I absolutely love this Teddy Pardo Weem Ultra that I bought for $1,000. I don't think you have to spend any more than that to get a really good sounding, not a medium sound, a very, very high quality. It only does one thing. And all it does, this is my thing, it pulls it down from the internet and sends it to the DAC. That's the only thing it's doing. All right. Anyway, so that's where that Sinuos Nazare at $50,000 or $80,000 or whatever the frig it is. I don't know. Can you imagine who does that? I think it just, I don't know. I don't have that kind of money to think that way. Don't spend $50,000 on a music server. Spend $1,000 and then take $49,000 and do something better with it. There's lots of things you could do better with $49,000 than to spend it on some company in Portugal making a computer that's going to be a pain in the ass to use just as much as the $1,000 one and outdated in 5 years just like the $1,000 one. You know I'm making sense. You know I am. All right. Man, that is just... terrible. Here we go. Now, you all know what I'm going to do here. Don't you? Are you with me on this? Telling you, computer shit. The computer industry is a total friggin' mess. Every single thing out, all of these devices, they are all flawed. All the programs are flawed. The apps are flawed. I don't know what it is. It's just designed by people who don't care, don't know any better. Young people out of school making a lot of money, not enough brain, not enough experience in their brain to figure out that they ought to have an on-off button on the damn thing. How about an on-off button? No, we can't do that. You got to multi-function this button. You got to know just how to press it. Yeah, I got to go to AI to ask how to press the friggin' button to turn the thing off. Only I can't get to AI because anyway. So what am I doing? I'm in Qobuz Connect. I want to play music. I have to go to right here. Here it is. I have to choose select a device as an audio output. I chose my audio output. It's my device. I paid for it. I pay for all of this. I chose the output. Why did it automatically change it back to something else? All right, here we go. And no way to know how to get out of this screen. I just happened to figure it out by... All right. Bear with me. Now now I will tell you what track this is now. I know you've been waiting the whole time for this. It's like, Greg, play the friggin' track. All right, hang on. Here we go. This, I won't be able to pronounce this correctly, but I think it's German. Muete. M-E-U-T-E. Hang on, I'm going to go here. Here. Yeah, M-E-U-T-E. The track is called You and Me. So this is I don't know, it's marching band hip hop. Anyway, here, let me turn you around so you can see this. Marching band hip hop. All right, there you go. Because in order to listen to this, you have to be facing the system, of course. Cool, huh? It sounded friggin' awesome right here, let me tell you. What a great track. But man, you could just, you could really hear the difference from one DAC to another with that. And uh, uh, compliments to Ben at Mojo Audio, because he continues just to come out with one DAC after another that's just fantastic. Really, really good. I don't know if they're worth 10 grand. I can't tell you that. That's just, man, that's a lot of money to me. But um, I'd sooner put 10 grand into that than I would a music server from Inuos in a heartbeat. So listen, we're running kind of long here. I'm sorry for the long video this week. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for joining me. Thank you so much for your support. Really appreciate it. Subscribe, hit the like button, all that stuff. And next week, look for some videos. I'm at the Tampa show, and I'll be going around doing videos like I did at Capital Audio Fest. I had a good time doing that, so I'm going to do the same thing at this show, and I'll try to do an even better job than I did last time. And I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I make sure that I have fun, and I want you to make sure to have fun too. Trust your ears. Have fun. Catch you on the next one. Bye.